The postseason push continues for the Bruins, and hopefully we can finish up the regular season here in this episode. Now, I was taking a look at the team, and for the most part, I think we're good. Our center depth might be a little bit weak. Obviously, Danton Heinen currently out due to injury, but this team continues to win, of course, because of our strong defense. And goaltending-wise, we are going to roll with Shane Finger. And like I said, I'm still up in the air as to whether I want this to truly be the last season. Both series that I've had now for a while are in an interesting spot. Now, Shane Finger isn't exactly a medium franchise goalie, but he still could be one hell of a player. But I guess any way you look at it, we began this series with a top-tier goalie in Tuukka Rask, and we'll end this series by having a top-tier goalie in Shane Finger. Now, I am going to try and sign Alex Burmistrov to a one-year deal for the rest of the season to be a depth guy to help out the Providence Bruins, and that way, too, he can be the main call-up rather than DeRocher. But we are 37 games in. We have a 10-point lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we will see if we can hold on to that or even extend the lead. And we do get this episode started off on the right foot with a 5-3 win, and Burmistrov has accepted our offer. So let's quickly, and hopefully quickly, go and get him into the lineup down in Providence. Well, actually, I'll probably send down DeRocher. That is exactly what I'll do. I will send down DeRocher, and we will get Alex Burmistrov into the lineup here. So let's take a look. Burmistrov, he unfortunately dropped a point. It did say he's affected by waivers, which again sucks, but I'm not surprised. Of course, it isn't just, you're on a two-way contract. You never have to worry about it. Unfortunately, it is not that. What the hell did Best Lines do to this team? God damn. All right, well, Burmistrov can go there. Tufte can go back over here. This is turning into a dilemma. There we go. It is back to normal. Hooray for that. I wonder if my dog yawning in the background picked up on the mic because it was adorable. But, do I want to just go best lines? All right, now we got Filatov and Jeremy Pascali. I'm sure that picked up on the mic as my dog decided now's the best time to just jump around. Jump up, and get down. Pascali and Filatov, they are making progression. That is the big problem. That is the big problem, but we are going to go best lines. We are going to go best lines, and hopefully this team can improve. We will take out Novoseltsev, though, because I'm not too concerned about him being, well, actually, you know what? No, we will. We will just go best lines and hope that this team can continue to string together wins. Poulin is still the starter. We'll have to make sure that Nesbitt is the backup, and we are good to go. Let's get some simming done, at least until Danton Heinen returns from injury. But let's see here. Let's see. We will go to the old calendar, 38 games into the regular season. And we will sim this game against the Vancouver Canucks. Herme will start against the Oilers one way or another. And if Herme gets the win here, he will take a hold of the starting job, at least in the meantime, after that loss for Shane Finger. So let's get over to goaltending, and we'll put Hannu Herme between the pipes. I got to admit, in a way, I'm hoping Herme loses, but we do, of course, have to continue to go with the better goaltender, at least at the time. We do have a 29-9-1 record, though. I'm not too concerned, considering both goalies have performed at a high level, and Hannu Herme is injured. Well, that answers our question for us, doesn't it? That is very, very unfortunate. I don't recall having Arnold signed. I don't remember signing him at all, but we will call him up because that won't affect Providence. And look at that, Shane Finger, one way or another, will continue to be the starting goaltender for now, with Arnold's as the backup. So let's get him in there. I could have probably called up Nesbitt, but I'd rather have him continue to get the reps in Herme. I don't know if we would have had the win, but we did get the win there. And let's go. The good thing is Herme will be back before we have to worry about the back-to-back games against Tampa and Ottawa. Is Danton Heinen going to be fully healthy? It's always injuries that can slow down an episode like this. I'm going to put Danton Heinen in there because I have a feeling that he is going to be fully healthy before this next game. So whether or not we lose Alex Burmistrov here, who knows? I doubt it. We might have. Nobody signed him all year long, but then I sign him and try to send him down to the minors and somebody claims him. Fucking God, these GMs are assholes. That's the only way to put it. Like, do you know how big of a dick move that is? To have the chance to sign this guy all year long. You don't. But then someone tries to send him down to the minors and you claim him. That is a dick move. Somebody claimed Alex Burmistrov. Sons of bitches. Let me hit the button here. Hopefully Heinen doesn't get re-injured because he's not fully healthy against LA. Okay, he didn't. That's great. But now I need to go and sign more depth. So isn't that lovely? Fucking, I need to see. I need to see who picked him up too. So I can fuck that team over somehow. Use all of my draft picks to just bankrupt their team. But let's see here. We could go with Kajula. Could go with Posler. Bartek. Hodges. A bunch of 81s here. A ton of 81s. Holy shit. Okay. Well, let's figure this out then. We do have the 83 overall in Drake Kajula, the more offensive option. I'm hoping I can sign 2 players. But we'll pick up Kajula. And then is Posler a more defensive pickup? He is not. Bartek is alright. Stephen Hodges isn't bad. Brian Flynn is even better, and he can play center. So let's try to sign Kajula and Flynn as depth players. I think we had 48 contract spots. I don't remember if we have somebody signed and they're away in junior. If that's the case, we won't be able to sign both of them. Hopefully Kajula signs first, though, just in case. But let's keep going, damn it. I want to make it through this season in this episode. OHL scouting, we'll go defense for 3 weeks, whatever. Might as well take it somewhat seriously, just in case. Kajula did sign. Will Brian Flynn be able to sign, is the question. Hanu Herme, is he going to be fully healthy? Son of a bitch, I have to check at the very least. Brian Flynn also signed, so that is good. Let's put Hanu Herme in, just in case. There is a chance he could still be injured, though, as we've seen a million times. But I have to take the risk just in case. It's the way this is. So let's send Arnold's back down. Wouldn't mind him getting claimed, but I knew there was no chance of that happening. Let's see. So goaltending, we're good. AHL, let's go best lines with Kajula and Flynn. Now there. And goaltending, we will just have to put Nesbitt as the backup, and we should be fine as long as Hanu Herme doesn't get hurt. We get a waiver claim for Eric Goodbranson. Now, he has a terrible contract, absolutely terrible. But there's no reason. I mean, we could, we could take him and have him be a depth guy, or I could go and sign a free agent for much cheaper and not have to worry about it. So don't worry about it, Detroit. You can get rid of him. And actually, that might have canceled the Brian Flynn signing. I don't know. Poulin hurt in Providence. These injuries are starting to add up. This, I think we've seen more of the edit lines menu than anything else in this episode so far. But the good news is Eric Nesbitt will get some starting time. And maybe he can make some improvements. Speaking of improvements, we have lost 2 straight games, so we need to make some of our own. Can we beat the Rangers? Nope, that is 3 straight losses. And Hanu Herme will get the chance. Pretty disappointed in Shane Finger there, and the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning are 3 points back. Yikes, this is not good. Not good at all. All right, who is struggling here? Keller's doing all right. Sagan, only 8 goals. Are you serious? Skinner, Nolan Patrick. I'm going to do something crazy, maybe? Just thinking of maybe swatching? It's not a paint palette. Swapping Patrick and Sagan. Danton Heinen hasn't done too much. So let's put Heinen there, and you know what? We're losing games. Let's go for it. What's it going to hurt? We could at least try something different. So let's go for that and see if we can break this sudden losing streak. All of a sudden, our luck has turned. We are just over halfway through the season as well. We still have a long way to go, and DeBrincat gets hurt. Oh my God, and he's not even out for that long. Right, well, there's been a lot of talk. Will you have injuries on or off in the next series? That's almost not even a question at this point. It's either they're going to be tuned down very, very low, or just in general they won't be on. But injuries should not be a major factor in my series. It's just not even in my new series, but like in my series moving forward. And this is why I ended up resorting to having videos with the jump cuts, so to speak. It was just much, much easier to do. And that way I could avoid situations like this. We will go with that as the new second line defensively. We should be fine. I'm going to go best lines again in Providence, even though I already did. Whether or not Kajula gets claimed now, who the hell knows. 7-3 win over Detroit. That's nice. I didn't look to see who claimed Burmistrov. And because of all the stoppages, I don't care enough to pause and go check, although I would have an opportunity. Right now, Benson goes down. Fuck's sake, these injuries. DeBrincat is fully healthy, so moment of truth as to whether or not Kajula gets claimed. I might only go to the All-Star break, now that I think about it. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a shorter episode. Maybe I'll try to get to the trade deadline. I don't know. Far too many injuries. But let's see. Will Drake Kajula get claimed on waivers? If I had to guess, I would say yes, but you never know. And he did. Drake Kajula's gone too. Lovely. What is with these teams? You had all season to sign this guy on your own accord, and instead, you just decide to screw me over and make things more difficult and force me to have to waste more time in the menus. That's not cool and not appreciated. We'll go best lines again. We still have Brian Flynn, which is nice, but goddamn. All right, let's figure this out. You know what? I might try to get a defenseman as well. Maybe we can afford to get both. But you know what? Let's see here. Who claimed them? Let's see what happens. Or what happened. Let's go to waiver claims. Buffalo took Burmistrov. Columbus took Drake Kajula. Both of you two teams can just not... Fuck, I don't want to say anything. It's not that I don't want to offend anybody, but it's like... Well, you know how you could say something just jokingly, but someone could be like, oh my God, this just happened to my family member. Oh my God. I was going to tell them to go die in a fire. I'm sorry if that offends you in any way. I am sorry. God damn it. All right, let's see. Who do we sign this time that will eventually be claimed? We could go with Cedric Paquette and just play him down in Providence. We could go with Hodges. We could go with Josh Anderson. Let's try. Well, let's go with Cedric Paquette, the veteran. Sign him to that minimal deal. And for shits and giggles, I'm going to see if we can bring somebody in. Kyle Jensen, not quite. I want someone like Gabriel Carlson. Good defensively, good physically. We will look to bring him in. Is that Victor Safronov? That is Vitaly Safronov. Klaus Dahlbeck's available. He's a monster. As is Patrick Seeloff, who could just elbow a teammate in the head and ruin his career. Let's go with Carlson. Let's go with Karlsson. We'll see if we can sign both of these players. Hopefully this works. There's no way we're making it through the rest of the regular season in this episode. That is very much evident. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. If there's another injury before the All-Star break, I don't remember if I put what goalie in. I don't know what goalie's playing, but thankfully we picked up the win. Let's see what happens. Paquette has to decline because Karlsson accepted. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with getting the extra defensive depth. I think that might be a bit more helpful, and as it is, the forwards just keep getting claimed, so who gives a shit? We still have Brian Flynn. Will he be claimed? Probably not. But let's see. Shane Finger gets a chance. Hanu Herme is looking good. Let's go best lines down in the AHL, and that gets Karlsson on the top pairing. And again, I hate to have to keep doing this, but Nesbitt in for Arnold's. If Nesbitt can just go up by one more overall point, we won't have to keep doing that. So that's good. That's good news for us. Well, let's see here. Ottawa. If Shane Finger gets us to 73 points, he will stay in. We won't go best line. Sorry, Tommy Benson. You're going to have to stay out because I don't want to switch the goaltending again. Shane Finger wins that game. And unfortunately, we're coming up on the All-Star break, but we will go to February 1st and see how much further down the line we can make it in this episode. Hopefully halfway through February or just before the trade deadline. We beat Ottawa in that game 9-1. We lost to Carolina. Finger will play against Columbus, and then if Hanu Herme beats Minnesota, he will continue to be the starter. And actually, Shane Finger lost both games, so we'll play Herme against Minnesota, and we will keep him in, so we don't have to edit again. We are only 4 points above Tampa. Wow, that is obviously the team is quite different than the one last year, but that is a pretty drastic difference in terms of the win-loss column. Let's see. I'm all right with the fourth line. I'm all right with the third line. Sagan's at least picking up some goals. You know what? I'm all right with that. I don't necessarily see why we're losing. Let's go best lines. That should get Benson back in there. And then we will again scratch Arnold's for Nesbitt. Tupperainen is actually scratched. I should probably make sure he's in the lineup. You know what? I'll do that if they make the playoffs. So I will make sure that certain players get that ice time. We just want them to get to the playoffs. We had some good success with the Providence Bruins early on in the series, but it has been a while. Hanu Herme will play the next 4 games. Can he do some damage? No, he cannot. The Wild beat us 3-2. And, man, we might be due for some changes because this team might not be good enough. We lost again. Holy shit, guys. What is going on? We beat the Flyers 8-5. Wonder what's going on in Philly. We play the Caps again. And Jeff Skinner goes down with a sprained ankle for 2 days, and then we're going to have to put him back into the lineup. Platt is up to an 84. Jesus. All right, Ken Platt turning into a monster. God damn. 2 goals and 16 assists. Right. Well, we might keep him down in Providence then. Yeah, we'll go with Brian Flynn, who's been tearing it up, and who we could possibly lose on waivers. Who the hell knows? But let's see. We will go best lines. And we will put Sagan back there. We'll keep him on the top line. Stromwall there. DeBrincat there. Tufte and Sjogren will move up. And what else do we want to do here? There we go. That team is looking half decent at least. Depth-wise, like I said, it's the Chicago way. Keller, Patrick, Pasternak, Sagan, and then a bunch of pretty good people mixed in between. And of course, our defense is still stacked. Let's go with not with Hanu Herme. We'll go with Shane Finger. We'll also go best lines there. And again, I have to switch to goaltending. I'm hoping and praying for the day Nesbitt can be 1 overall point better, so I don't have to keep doing that. But let's see here. Can Shane Finger beat the Dallas Stars? Please. He can't. My God, he hasn't had a win in a while. You know what, though? He's staying in because we're going to have to switch it back anyway. Yeah, you go ahead and you blame locker room interactions for your shit play, pal. You go ahead. Maybe I don't want to see how well Shane Finger progresses because he's turning into a bitch. Let's see. Can he beat Nashville? Yay, Shane Finger, you won a game. Will Jeff Skinner be healthy for the Philly game? Ralph Jarrett's not going to be healthy for Providence's next game. Is Jeff Skinner healthy? No, he's not. At least I don't think he is. So we will sim this next game, and if I'm wrong, then that'll fuck with his morale, and we'll have to trade him. We won 4-1. Hooray for that. Hooray for that. We are so close to the trade deadline, thankfully. But let's see. We're back up to an 11-point lead over Ottawa and Tampa. We made it a lot closer than it should have been. Jeff Skinner still isn't fully healthy. So Hanu Herme is back in, down in Providence. Yeah, that's right. Ralph Jarrett was injured. Fuck it. And Leon Arnold's went up to a 73. Great. So he'll be the backup. Screw it. Nesbitt, you're just not good enough. And I'm too lazy to constantly switch it. But let's see. Hanu Herme against the New York Rangers. What can he do for us? He can get us a 5-2 win. That is what he can do. And we will, we'll sim this game against Columbus, and that will do it for this episode. We'll take a look at player stats and all that, and see if there are any changes that we should make. The moment of truth, though, for Brian Flynn. Let's see if he gets claimed. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to call up Arnold's to the NHL level and just have him sit there. But let's see. Did Brian Flynn make it? Please? Please? Did Brian Flynn make it? Yay, Brian Flynn, you're still on the team. Hooray for that. Brian Flynn is here to stay. And all was right in the world. Let's see here. Let's go with that. And this is... Oh, this is time consuming. And boom. We are good. This team is set. Let's play the Columbus Blue Jackets and see where this team stands as we prepare for the trade deadline and the end of this season. That is 4 wins in a row. Beautifully done. Rebounding very nicely. Both teams with a winning record right now. All is well in Bruins land. The big question is, do we have any underperforming players? But we are 13 points above our competition, so I can deal with a couple of underperforming players. That is not an issue at the moment. Let's take a look league-wide. We are currently in position to win the President's Trophy, but we have some competition for that, don't we? Goals for, we are just dominating that category. Not too bad. Goals against, we are also winning that category. Our power play is middle of the road. It could be an improvement, but again, we're going best lines and not paying too much attention to that. Our penalty kill, second best in the NHL. The Washington Capitals PK is absurd. We also have a 23-7-1 home record. I meant to look at the Providence Bruins, so let me go back and do that. They are leading their division. They are leading their division because of the game at hand. It's kind of weird how that is set up, but I will take it, and they are 7th in the league. They've played 52 games, but they also have teams that have only played 46 games. That is just strange. I don't know how to explain that, but let's take a look. David Pasternak leading our team right now with 55 points. Nolan Patrick and Tyler Seguin both at 48, so debatable, as I fucking hit my hand, debatable who could be the top line center right now, and that might, if we keep this going beyond the season, which again is up in the air still, it might spell the end of, Tyler Seguin's time in Boston. Maybe that's our last big move, is to trade Tyler Seguin so Nolan Patrick can be the top guy. But I will scroll through the rest of this so you guys can get a look. Not going to name too many players off because, again, I'm not too disappointed in any of our players. The goaltending, it's been pretty much a true tandem. 34 games and 30 games, nearly identical records, nearly identical save percentages. So We're definitely going to try and give Shane Finger, as my voice gives out, we're definitely going to try and give Shane Finger as many chances as we can for him to be the starter. But it's up to him to get the job done and to make sure he grabs that spot away from Hannu Herme. But quickly, the rookie scoring race right now. Zadina, 37 points. It's looking good. Sjogren, 12 points behind. That's probably too far behind. But rookie goalies, there's a chance, a small chance, that Hannu Herme could potentially, Shane Finger could potentially compete. But there are other goalies there who have played quite a few games. So I don't know. Our rookies aren't having bad seasons, but they just might be too far outside of those races at this point. Vladimir Tarasenko leads the league in points. Connor McDavid not all that far behind. Senyshyn with 54 points in 59 games. I don't like you. I don't. But anyways, guys, that will do it for this episode. I hope you did enjoy. Let me know, of course, feedback on the episode itself, what decisions you would make, what you have for suggestions, anything, everything. I'm always looking down in the comments. And, that's pretty much it. There's no special way to end this episode. We dealt with a shitload of injuries, and we're still in first place. So, all is well at the moment. But as I end this episode, I will say what I always say. Feel free to support the video, the channel, support me in any way you deem necessary. And I will see you guys in the next episode where we wrap up the regular season. Will we win another division title? Probably, but anything could happen.